During the game, it's the referee's obligation to maintain high standards of safety at scrum times by applying the law strictly. It is furthermore the player's responsibility to play within the laws and to practice the correct techniques in the scrum. Coaches and referees both play a major role in injury prevention during the scrum by teaching, training and enforcing proper scrum technique and law application. What is unique about the scrum is that the major changes to the scrum laws in the modern game have been driven by the need for a safe and fair contest. If participants adhere to the laws governing the scrums and follow the correct technical practices, the scrum can be a safe and exciting part of the game. The referee's work at a scrum starts with the pre-engagement or setting up of the scrum in a safe manner. Before engagement, the referee should observe that both teams are binding correctly, that both teams are a safe distance apart and are over the mark provided by the referee. Once the teams have formed up correctly, the referee needs to control the engagement. In this regard, the law requires the referee to follow 4 distinct calls to ensure that the engagement process occurs safely. The calls are crouch.
Crouch.
At this point, the referee needs to pause and observe the following: that the front rows are at the same height, that they are lined up squarely and parallel to each other, and that they are stationary and not moving off the mark to the left or right. The second call is touch.
Touch.
At this point, the referee must observe and insist that each prop extends their unbound arm at full stretch to touch the shoulder of their opponent and recoil the arm back to the ready position. The third call by the referee is pause.
Pause.
At this point, the referee observes the readiness of the teams to engage. The purpose of the pause is for the referee to manage the timing of the engagement so that the participants are all ready and braced for the impact. This will prevent either of the teams from prematurely charging their opponents. Lastly, the fourth call is engage.
Engage.
Once the front rows have engaged their opposition, the referee should observe that the loose head and tight head binds correctly as per law. Once the referee is satisfied with the binding, they should not allow any pushing before the ball is put into the scrum. Now that the referee has controlled the engagement and the scrum is actually live, he should move his attention to the body position of the players. Particular attention should be given to ensure that front row players are in a pushing position with straight backs and level to the ground. Props and hookers are to be at the same height, a solid unit and properly bound. Referees should pay particular attention to the body angle of the props after the engagement and that they are pushing towards the goal line and not in the direction of any touch line. Any front row player who's got his head or shoulders lower than his hips should be dealt with by the referee. During the contest, front rows must maintain their binds and referees need to act strictly. Both teams need to push straight and not upwards, inwards or outwards, or pull the scrum down. A key element of the contest is front rows dipping or twisting their upper bodies and intentionally rotating or collapsing the scrum. This should not be tolerated and penalized accordingly. Despite the referee controlling the pre-engagement and post-engagement process, due to the legal context of the scrum, it's not uncommon for scrums to collapse or break up. However, once the scrum collapses or breaks up, the referee should stop the scrum immediately and deal appropriately with any player that continues to push after the whistle.